Welcome to my live stream live from Bangkok, Thailand, where I lived for almost 2 years. It's hard to believe. My Thai is getting better, but my memory isn't. That's an unfortunate coincidence. But today I want to talk about passport bros. You know, guys like me. I hate the name. I've said it many times, but I think this is the best choice. I forgot to turn air conditioning on. I think it's the best choice that I've made in my life, definitely for my love life. And However, the problem is that you guys don't know who passport bros are, or at least you think you do, because a lot of times you see these dudes who post videos from here in Thailand or Philippines or Colombia, whatever, um, thinking they are passport bros, but they're not. And honestly, the reason I'm kind of pissed lately is because I've seen a lot of these guys on my feed. And today I want to talk about what passport bros are. Again, I wish we found a better name. And what passport bros aren't. And you will see that the gap is quite large. I would say we're almost the opposite. So let's talk about what passport bros are. We are men who used to live in America or any other modern country, any other country with a Western culture. And at some point, we realized that we just can't find women who would be wife material in terms of being traditional and submissive and kind, that would pick family over career, and all of that stuff. Now, I know a lot of people say, Alex, well, how do you define traditional? Well, you know what? How about it's a girl who's not covered in tattoos, who is not loud and obnoxious, who doesn't have a career that comes first, who's not a gold digger, who's not a hooker of any type, and who believe, and this is an important part, who believes in gender roles, who believes that men and women have different roles in the relationship. And for men, the relationship role is to lead, to be the provider, the protector, and all of that stuff that comes with it. And for a woman is to support him in that and take care of him and the children, if you want to have children and so forth. I mean, I can't believe that we even have to define what a traditional woman is, because we used to call these women, women. We just say woman and everybody would understand. But now it's modern women, traditional women, and it's really getting kind of silly, if you ask me. So we are men who just know that there are just no women like that who are single anymore. There's plenty of traditional women who are married, but that model has been discontinued. And unless you pick one up, right after a divorce, and if she doesn't have any kids, then you're lucky. But that's usually not going. It's not going to happen. As a matter of fact, one of the biggest reasons I've decided to leave, because my decision was very tough. All of us. I mean, it's not really easy. It's very hard to just leave everything that your family, your friends. I mean, the language. Shit, I can't even speak the language here yet, right? And just get up and move somewhere. It's not easy. So, but the moment when I realized that I have to do this if I want to have any type of a relationship in the future, is when I realized that even if I find a girl who would say a traditional good girl in America, it's not going to last very long. The social media, the pressure from her coworkers and friends, and all the hoes everywhere, and feminism is going to crush her sooner or later. So even if you found one, it's not for too long. And that's when I realized that, that's where I was like, all right, I gotta go. I don't have any choice. I decided to move when I felt like I had no choice. Now, the reason I stayed here is a completely different sets of reasons. It's not women per se. As a matter of fact, relationships here are much more complicated than I ever would have thought. Still a much better place to date, still much better place to be a man. But I stayed here for all kinds of other reasons, from excellent healthcare and a complete lack of violent crime, to essentially people. People here are amazing. Now, anyway, so I can go on and on and on. But the reason I left was because I was like, there's no way. There's just zero. And we come to these other countries, and we look for women who would make good wives, who are good and traditional and submissive and all that stuff. Um, Now I know, and I just literally posted a video in the last 24 hours that people say, "Oh yeah, you're just there to, take advantage of these poor, uneducated women." Now, if you ever, these people never left the trailer parks. Obviously, if you ever come here, you will see that, any girl who has any value, let's say she's pretty and she is, wife material, they have plenty of choices here. Plenty of choices, from foreigners to local guys. As a matter of fact, a lot of them that would prefer to date, local men who will not leave, who speak their language, know their culture, and all of that stuff. So these women don't need foreigners coming in here and saving them. They're doing just fine. As a matter of fact, let me tell you about an interesting real life analogy. Usually analogies are not real life, but it's real life. It happened to me a couple of days ago. So I was walking. I like to take late night walks. It's 1 o'clock in the morning here right now, but I probably will still take one once I'm done with this live stream. And I was walking home and I got a couple of cans of cat food because one of the vendors who I buy like my lunch from, she's got a cat that I really like. So a lot of times I come over and bring them little treats, little cans of food. But I bought two. And then I see this other cat that I see pretty regularly on my way around the block. And I was like, ooh, you know what? I have two cans. I will get one can of this delicious cat food from fancy 7-Eleven store. And let this cat eat. Why not? Make a friend. So I come up to the cat and it's friendly, and you would have thought that this is a stray street cat on the streets of Bangkok with many other cats around, with a competition, and the food is, very in deficit. And yet, when I put out this can of, delicious cat food, this cat sniffed it and it just walked away. This cat wasn't hungry. Okay, this stray street Bangkok cat was like, I'm good, dude. Now, the same people who think that all these women here that we prey on are poor and uneducated and they just need a savior, think of that cat, okay? They feel the same way. They're good. They don't need anybody saving them. As a matter of fact, a lot of times I wish they would appreciate me a little bit more for the money that I make, because that, means that I'm educated and I'm hardworking and I made something out of myself. A lot of times they do. Most of the time, they don't care how much money you make. So, so that's what we're looking for, and it's not that easy to find, even here in Thailand and other countries. I believe that only Thai women who don't speak English are actually the type that I'm looking for, like a real traditional Thai women. That's why I'm looking to learn Thai. Not looking, I am learning Thai. Actually just had a date with a girl who spoke no English. As a matter of fact, all of my dates, definitely so far this year, were with women who don't speak any English. I mean, my Thai is still quite poor, but that's how we learn. But I can carry some conversation, just like over dinner, whatever, about the weather. But every time I go out with a girl who doesn't speak any English, or make a friend that doesn't speak any English, my Thai is obviously getting better. So this is what we are men who want to create families, who want to create relationships with these women who a lot of us remember used to exist in America. I was lucky enough to be in 3 amazing relationships, so it's not like I'm looking for something that Andrew Tate told me about. I'm looking for something that I used to find quite easily in America. For all of these years I lived there, which is almost 30. If you're a good man, if you're a good hardworking man, you will always have a decent, cute girl by your side at the very least. But those times are over. So we decided, if these modern women who don't need no man, don't want us, that's fine. We'll leave them alone. You guys can go and whatever. We're not gonna simp. We're not going to simp for these women who demand so much and offer almost nothing. We're going to come to countries where women want men. They don't want to be independent. They want to be dependent on a good man in their lives, just like it's been for thousands of years before this. So, and this is what we come here for. Now, let's talk about what we are not, because I've been seeing so many goddamn fucking videos about, from these guys. And I don't even know why I got into it with a couple of them. So let me tell you a good example, right? So recently I've been getting, the videos from this guy, American guy, who consistently brags about, oh, you got to come to Thailand. These Thai women are awesome. And as he's doing that, he is showcasing his girlfriend in his videos. Now, first of all, if you're a real passport bro, when you come here and you want to, meet and date a traditional girl, you do not put her on camera for everybody to see. Okay, you just don't do that. That's your private life. Usually, these women are private women. They don't want to be shown in the world and be judged and all of stuff. I don't even know why he did. Now, he apparently thinks that he's dating a hot girl. I didn't think so. I didn't think she was any hot. I think even he can do better. But generally speaking, a lot of these girls are just not good looking. But they're covered in tattoos. They're dressed, which, by the way, another thing. Well, it's always been a red flag for anybody who understands. I have a whole multi-video series about why you shouldn't take women with tattoos seriously and wife them up. But I can tell you that traditional women in these countries don't have tattoos or green hair or nose rings. None of that bullshit. So for some reason, these guys think that that's a traditional Thai woman or Filipino woman or whatever. Secondly, a lot of these women are dressed completely not appropriate for this culture. Their boobs are out, they're wearing short shorts, showing too much skin. That's not a traditional girl, and she would never dress like that when she knows she's in public, for sure. So he keeps showcasing this girl and just saying how she's this and she's that, and also I've seen a video where she's paying for him for lunch or whatever, and I'm thinking, what? Oh my God, you're either such a loser that you can't even afford your own lunch once in a while in a country where everything's affordable, or you're lying to us. And I think that's really was the case. You gave your girl money so she can pay for you on camera. I don't know what's worse. I mean, these guys, they have no real understanding, I think, that, the emperor has no clothes. So these guys come here to these countries. They have no fucking clue what traditional women are. They end up dating the same hoes with the same tattoos, with the same attitude. Now, by the way, of course, they don't fucking speak a word of Thai. So their only choices are westernized Thai women, or Filipino women actually all speak English, but whatever country you're in, Colombia, then, if they, speak English, they're westernized, and therefore you're getting the same quality of a woman that you would in America. You just spend less money, I guess. But at the end of the day, you are getting the same problems. You're getting the same type of a woman. And here, most importantly, a lot of times, you're essentially hiring a hooker. These guys say, oh, I have a girlfriend. And then turns out, oh, well, when they were dating, every time she would go out with him, he would like literally, actually, I don't even have to go that far. Somebody who just messaged me and told me that he was going out with this girl in Pattaya, another city here in Thailand. And he had to pay her to go out with him because she could not miss work because she's making money. And if she doesn't go to work, first of all, usually almost everybody here has a 1 day off. Secondly, she told him the amount to pay, and knowing her profession and me living here, knowing exactly how much, average salary here is and how much she probably is making, she gave him a number that's probably, I would say, 4 to 5 times more. So she already fucked him over. So, and on top of that, so he's paying her to be on a date with her. Didn't even get laid. And so these guys, time after time after time, they hand over money to women for no good reason. There was no good if a girl's too busy for you, there's no such thing as too busy. You understand? When a girl says too busy, that means just she's not interested in you. Or she's just trying to get money on you. Oh, I can't take off work. Of course she can take off work. She has a day off and she's not working 24-hour shifts. She can absolutely see you after work or at the lunch break. And, they make it work if they want to. So these foreigners, they essentially end up buying these girls. They end up giving them money for this, giving them money for that. That's already on top of buying the food and whatever. I believe you should pay for the activities that you invite the girl to. So like tonight I had a date with a girl I've been seeing for a few months. I pay for her Uber to get here and to go home because I don't want to own a car. So, but taking care of her transportation is on me because she is coming to my place. We went out, got some foods, got some dessert, got some drinks. I covered everything. But these are just general many things to do. But what I didn't do is pay for her, money for her purse, money for her to take off work, even though she did. She actually works in the evening time, and she did take off time of her own business that she's running. She sells food at the night market, and I didn't give money to her family or her to her sick dog. None of that. But these guys who are consistently telling you that they are the passport bros, they consistently do that. They consistently buy these girls. So they come here, they date westernized women because they don't speak any of the local languages. They're too fucking lazy to learn. And they tell you that they're passport bros with these girls next to them that are no better than Western women. And essentially, they just end up buying them for a little bit better of a price that they would have to pay for sugar babies in America, Britain, and whatever country they came from. So, and this sucks for me because I would never do any of the shit that they do. My girls that I date would never dress the way that their little hoes are dressed. They don't have tattoos. They don't want to be on camera, on social media. They don't pay for me. I mean, it's, and I see it time after time after time after time. And it's unfortunate because listen, if you want to come here or whatever, and you want to buy yourself a girl and pretend like she's your girlfriend, by all means, free country, probably more free than America at this point. You can do that. But don't lie to everybody and tell everybody's like, how are you dating a Thai girl? I mean, she might speak Thai and she might have been born here and her passport says she's Thai, but she's not really Thai anymore. She is American or British, if you will. That's at least the way she's behaving in your relationship and so forth. Now, another thing that these losers don't understand is that your woman represents you at all times, whether she's next to you or she is many miles away, kilometers away. Gotta switch back again. And these guys are dating these hoes that are walking around, especially here. Girls who are dressed, even sexy, I would say, usually are women who are making money off of men, usually foreigners, one way or another. Traditional Thai women, or even just regular Thai women, do not dress up with their boobs out, where your ass is hanging out. There's not that much to go around, unfortunately, here in Asia. But, so these women are not actual Thai or Filipino, whatever women. They're just local hoes. They've learned this from Nicki Minaj, and this is their local version of that. They just don't require to take as much money as an American hoe would. And a lot of times it's much easier for them because these guys go like, oh, this is just $40 for me. And that's where they go wrong. They think, it may be $40 for you, but for her, it's a lot of money. So you just gave her a lot of money because you don't measure it on your scale. You measure it on her scale. In either way, you either have given woman money to provide you with services and company, and therefore she is a hooker, or you haven't. And again, nothing against hookers. God bless them. The life would not be the same without them. Okay, they're very important members of our society. I wish it would be legal everywhere, and they would be able to get, health care and all the benefits and stuff like that, like they do in some countries, including Netherlands. But don't pretend. Don't tell me how the hooker you hired is somehow your girlfriend, because again, you can even say whatever you want, but it makes guys like me look bad, right? Because somebody asks, why did you move to Thailand? And I say, I'm a passport bro. You know what that is? And they go, yes, I do, you fucking loser. I kind of understand why they think that of me, is because they've watched too many videos with these actual losers. Now, another thing that I've mentioned a few times on my channel, and even when I was a guest on another channel, a few channels, that there are, believe it or not, there are very few actual passport bros that I've seen here in Thailand and in Southeast Asia. And I think I've covered almost all countries in Southeast Asia. I was in Indonesia last week, in Bali. Hated that shithole, actually. But so I think I have. Well, Myanmar has a war going on, so I'm not going to go there anytime soon. Singapore, I will definitely cover this year. I don't know if Papua New Guinea is considered to be Southeast Asia. I feel like, but I'll probably go there. And there's a couple of really tiny countries that I'll visit. But generally speaking, by territory, I certainly have covered most of the Southeast Asia. And I got to tell you, it's a shame that you guys, most guys who watch, and women, and when they meet me, even here, like, why did you move to Thailand? Right away, the impression is very negative. I just posted a video, though. Even if you explain to people, why you moved here, there's still a lot of negative, unfortunately, sort of a point of view on someone like me. But fortunately, I don't really care as much, because I am living in paradise in more ways than one. And I cannot imagine living in the American society. As a matter of fact, let me just share something that I just had an epiphany about. Actually, two things. But before that, I just want to tell you about, the little course that I have. Gotta make a little bit of money. If you want to ditch modern women and move abroad for more traditional relationships, go to themillionmanproject.com, take my most comprehensive course, and change. God, this software sucks so bad. Okay, anyway, so that's my course about how to, as a matter of fact, I think a lot of people who just want to leave America for whatever reasons they have nowadays, and move to another country, this course is actually a great idea, and I'm selling it relatively cheap, even though I've made sure that this course has the most possible information on the freaking planet, to actually give like a whole step-by-step instructions on how to do it, right? All right, sorry, just going to make a quick note, because I'm getting really tired of this shitty software, always cutting my little commercials out. So, all right, the epiphany I wanted to share with you is this. So I was going to come back to California, to America, to visit my family and friends, and a lot of places that became really dear to me. And I was like, it's been almost 2 years. I want to, closer to my 2-year anniversary, I think it's time to visit. And I was planning the trip, and in the middle of it, which was kind of yesterday, I've decided I don't want to go. I don't want to go, despite the fact that I haven't seen my family and my friends and a lot of places I really liked in a long time, because I just don't belong there anymore. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I mean, I talk to my friends and family regularly on Zoom and whatever, and I think we've all kind of got used to be able to tell, be able to keep the relationships going, and and some of my friends already visited me here, and I kind of believe that, if you want to meet up with me, some of you travel, most of my friends travel, you can come to Thailand. It's literally the best place on earth to visit. Here in Bangkok, it is the most visited spot on the planet right now in the last, in 2024, literally the most visited city in the world, because we're the best. I mean, I'm telling you, I've traveled now to Indonesia, right, last week. So that was my 29th country. And I don't think Singapore is going to blow my mind either. As a matter of fact, I'm only going there to put a little check on my map. I know nothing interesting or positive about Singapore that I want to visit. I've heard of TikTok. The guy who runs TikTok in America is from there. That's it. But that's not a good sales point. I don't want to go to America. I don't belong there. First of all, I belong here. The places, the people that I've been keeping up with, I feel like it's fine. The places will probably just disappoint me, because I have so many great memories, as everybody I would assume, with some places that you like restaurants. Like for me, Santa Cruz, California is the best place on earth, and yet I definitely am afraid that if I come to some of these places and they've changed, most likely, or they They just don't exist anymore, maybe in some cases, or something negative or not necessarily positive would happen to me once I'm there. I will override my amazing memories with some shitty memories. So I decided, you know what? I don't want to go. I just don't want to go. I think the other thing is also I went to Bali, right? Bali is a destination with a lot of tourists. A lot of tourists. It's mainly just tourists, and I've spent about a week with tourists, Western people, and honestly, that was 1 week too much, too long. I come across, Western people, especially now that I started this channel, and I wanted to make sure that I do interact and talk and meet Western women. I feel like I need to feel the pain here and here that my target audience feels. But but generally speaking, no, thank you. I don't want to be, like I'm so used to such a respectful and kind people around me at all times that make me a better man with every day. Then, being in Bali reminded me how big of an asshole you have to be. Like I feel if when I was in America, I had a choice as a man, especially, right? I can either be a pushover and two, three, four, five people who are trying to insult me one way or another, and shitty service people try to sell me and take my money from, even at Chipotle at some point. You either just take it all up your ass, or you become an asshole and you consistently push back. Consistently. You know, the amount of time, like here in Thailand, I think in 2 years, where I was pissed enough, where I was like, I need to talk to the manager who runs this place. This is fucking bullshit. We need to talk. I think that happened 2 or 3 times in 2 years almost here. In America, it used to happen daily. And when I went to Bali, once again, that started to happen almost daily basis. I was like, well, this is unacceptable. This guy's acting like a dick. This guy's being disrespectful. And I decided I don't want to be there anymore. I just really don't want. And instead, because I traveling is expensive, and I have a bunch of points that I was going to credit card points that you convert to travel miles or with airlines. I have enough to go to America and back comfortably, business class, and why would I use up all these points and spend more money that probably will last me 1 week worth of money that I'm going to spend in America would last me here for like 2-3 months, and then pay with my jet lag. Most likely, usually people get sick when you go to a very different country with even the flu and COVID variations are very different. You pick it up easily. You don't get enough sleep. Your immune system falls, and you'll be jet lagged and then sick. It's just so. Instead, I've decided, you know what? Let me go to a place that I wanted to go for a long time. Never been. And as someone who dated pretty much only Black women in America for the last 15 years before I left, I'm going to go to Nairobi, Kenya. It was on the top 5 list of when I had a list of what possible countries I wanted to move to. Nairobi definitely was on the top 5 for sure. And I find Black women absolutely stunningly beautiful. I want to be an exotic. I want to go to Africa. I'm almost 50 years old. I've traveled. I mean, I've lived and traveled I've lived on 3 different continents. I'm probably one of the few people that you would ever know who've been in all top 3, right? Russia, China, and America. And I've never been to Africa. I want to be the only white guy in the room, which I have enjoyed in Oakland when I lived in Oakland, California. But I want to be the minority. I'm in the minority here as well, but that's a stunningly contrasty minority, right? I want to drive down the freeway and look to my right and see like zebras, and look at my left and see giraffes. I love giraffes. Actually, I'm going to this safari. It's called Safari World here in Bangkok. Well, it's outside of Bangkok. And because of regulations here, they know that's fucking crazy in America. You can actually come over like to the garage, to the area where giraffes are, go upstairs to their level of their heads and pet the giraffe and feed them carrots and have the tongue get the carrot from you and scratch them behind the ear. It's just amazing experience. You can feed the tigers there. Oh, it's great. So I'm gonna go on Thursday. But imagine just not walking down the street, but driving down the freeway and seeing giraffes playing in the sun like little deer. You know, I would love to see that. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go to Nairobi, Kenya. Um, so yeah, that's my plan, and hopefully this made sense of how much of a struggle it is to uh, sort of identify myself a lot of times. And when people go, why did you come here, and a lot of times they go like, oh, I don't know anybody else who came to Thailand or to another country specifically because of dating. When people ask me like, what brought you to Thailand, and I always say my travel agency, modern American women. They've drove me right out, and now I'm very grateful for them. So it is what it is. Again, I wish people, and I know I have a chance to also maybe think of a better name for myself, and um, but I don't know. It has to be some sort of a big. And of course, I have to use the passport bro term simply because, well, that's what people are searching for when they do want to know about men who are who move out of America or Great Britain and Australia to other countries like Thailand, Philippines, Colombia, and so forth. So I kind of have to use the term, right? I mean, this video has a passport bro right in the title. I mean, I'm not an idiot, right? I've done YouTube before. Just for those of you guys who don't know, I've had a pretty successful channel about electric cars for almost 8 years now, which I gave up to do this channel because I knew that no matter what, any type of public job, public business that I have in my life will be canceled once I started this channel. I know these topics that I'm talking about are pretty controversial. And if I had like sponsors or whatever, they would all disappear in a second because of what I talk about here. Luckily, I have my course, here that I'm hoping to sell, and this way I'm my own sponsor. And I really do believe that people who consume this channel and this type of content, sooner or later, more and more men would be looking for to leave America, to leave whatever country they live in, and come to other countries. And a lot of people do it incorrectly. A lot of times people go like, oh, Thailand, I've heard of Thailand, let me go and buy a one-way ticket, right? And they show up here and they get a lot of trouble. They start dating shitty women. They never learn the language. They don't even realize that beautiful, great, no, there are plenty of beautiful women, but traditional women, all of these women are unreachable to them, right? They ended up hanging out with other losers, becoming bigger losers. They don't understand their immigration statuses. They don't buy health insurance, and they end up in a bad shape. I would say maybe not even in a better shape that they were in America. So, so for that reason, I have my course. If you want to ditch modern women and move abroad for more traditional relationships, go to themillionmanproject.com, take my most comprehensive course, and change your... Yeah, I spent like 3 months working on this course. I wanted to be the best course out there. I know now people are kind of talking about leaving America because they don't like what Trump is doing, and this course is just as good for them as it is for single guys who want to date traditional women. But at least this is where I hold my own destiny, right? If my product is good, if my content is good, I will make some money. If it is not, then I won't make any money. Then I will have to start a Thai YouTube channel, as my Thai gets better and better and better. So, all right, guys, it was nice hanging out with you. I didn't really see any comments, but sometimes you're active, sometimes you guys are not very active. It is 1:30 in the morning here in Bangkok, Thailand. I got a few other things to do. I'm going to take a walk around the neighborhood, try to feed some cats, hopefully successfully this time. Other than that, see you guys next time.